Hello everyone, welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to NHK, major U.S. media outlet The Wall Street Journal, citing a senior U.S. official, has reported that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, fired missiles at two commercial vessels near the strategic Strait of Hormuz. One of the targeted ships is reportedly a liquefied natural gas tanker owned by a Qatari company. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations confirmed receiving a report of a tanker being struck by an unknown projectile off the coast of Oman, which caused a fire but resulted in no casualties. This incident follows recent attacks in late June on a cargo ship and another tanker, which occurred shortly after a U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding aimed at halting hostilities came into effect. The U.S. military has attributed those prior strikes to Iranian drones and carried out retaliatory attacks inside Iran. Although Washington and Tehran are expected to resume talks to secure a final agreement after the funeral of Iran's former supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, these latest developments have sparked widespread concern that the upcoming negotiations could become significantly more complicated. According to reports from NPR, China's Navy conducted a rare test launch of a long-range ballistic missile from a nuclear-powered submarine into the South Pacific. The missile, which carried a dummy warhead, was fired on Monday as part of routine annual training. Beijing stated the launch complied with international law and was not directed at any specific target. However, the event has drawn significant criticism from regional neighbors, including Australia, Japan, and New Zealand. New Zealand's Foreign Minister Winston Peters noted that the missile landed within the South Pacific Nuclear-Free Zone, established by the 1986 Treaty of Rarotonga. The launch occurred on the same day Australia and Fiji signed a new mutual defense treaty aimed at countering Chinese influence in the Pacific. While U.S. State Department spokesperson Thomas Pigott described Beijing's rapid nuclear buildup as a source of global concern, Chinese officials urged other nations to avoid overinterpreting the test, maintaining that it was a standard part of their military modernization efforts. A Chinese court has sentenced Yang Yulen, the former executive deputy director of the Nanjing Economic and Technological Development Zone Management Committee, to death for massive corruption. According to UPI, the 69-year-old was found guilty of accepting more than $323.7 million in bribes over a 30-year period, from 1993 to 2023. In addition to the death penalty, the Changzhou Intermediate People's Court ordered the confiscation of all his personal assets. Yang was also convicted on related charges, including embezzlement, money laundering, and abuse of power. Although Yang pleaded guilty and expressed remorse during the trial, the court ruled that the scale and social impact of his crimes were so egregious that lenient punishment was not warranted. This sentencing is part of President Xi Jinping's ongoing, years-long anti-corruption campaign, which has investigated millions of officials across China to maintain control and ensure party loyalty. China does not publicly release execution statistics, but it remains one of the countries that still utilizes capital punishment for severe economic crimes. A freight train operated by Norfolk Southern derailed late on July 5 in Bucyrus, Ohio, prompting safety concerns and evacuations in the local area. According to Crawford County authorities, the accident involved 19 cars, including at least one tank car carrying hydrochloric acid. Due to the potential for a hazardous chemical leak and subsequent explosion risks, officials conducted door-to-door notifications and initially ordered an evacuation of residents within a 1.6-kilometer radius. As the situation was stabilized, authorities later reduced the evacuation zone to a 400-meter radius, characterizing the measure as a strictly precautionary step. This report is provided by Yahoo News. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.